Good morning everybody and welcome to Juma Game Reserve. You can see I'm nice and wrapped up, and I think I was a little bit over ambitious with the shores here, but I was hoping maybe it was thin cloud, but just looking at it behind us maybe it's not, but keep your fingers crossed, hoping it's going to be a nice warm day today. My name's Tara, joining me on camera is Sebastian, and back in final control is Mark. Now, I actually wanted to start with the camera off the vehicle because we just drove by some tracks that we found yesterday, and they're still here, so I think since it's day 4 of Who Dung It, I think we need to start with that. So while Seb's climbing off, then hopefully Mark can hopefully do some magic, make sure we're not lagging behind, and we shall see you off the vehicle. Good, how are you? Morning.
Good luck. Thanks. Okay, back.
Oh no, we're still doing it. That's
Okay.
what made we're still carrying on.
Okay.
Sorry folks.
You're good to go.
Unfortunately, we just had a mishap. Let me just see. Mark, are you hearing me properly? Are we okay?
All good, all good.
All good, awesome. And everyone's caught up with us, I hope?
I think so.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Right, we had a bit of a mishap.
Sorry guys.
This is why I usually circle the tracks, and I didn't think, and Seb jumped off and jumped right in the track that I was going to show you.
Sorry guys.
So I'm hoping that you're still going to be able to see it. So let's give it a go. You've got 2 here this morning, just in case we have to find animals, which I'm hoping. So hopefully we can see this one. Need to come a bit closer to here. This is track number 1. And what we need there. So this is track number 1. So Seb's track's here, and it goes right over. So this would be the outline of the track here, if I can draw it in. Looking here, hopefully you can see that, and here. Have we seen that? Is the light alright, or is it not really that clear?
Not great, but it's okay, I think.
Okay, and then you're looking about 21 centimetres. So there's my hand. So you can get a size comparison. Let me just have a quick look at how it's coming out. It's not too bad. Okay.
Morning, mobile station.
Morning. So here you go. So you got giraffe track here. I've just said it, didn't I? Good morning. Okay, we had a giraffe track.
I think we should just carry on.
Yeah. Oh dear, I was a million miles away. I was actually going to say which direction is it going in. Actually, there you go. There is your question. So, you've got it as a giraffe track, but which direction is it going in? If I put my hand there again, is it going in the same direction as my hand or away from my hand? So, is it going in the same direction? Is it going that way or is it going that way? So that's your tracking question for this morning. So this giraffe track with the cloven hoof, look how rounded it is here, and look, it's quite pointed here. So what you need to put in your subject line, if you write to questions@juma.com, is it goes with my hand, so the track's going that way with my hand, or going away from my hand. So it's going that way. Okay, so with is going that way, and away is going that way. Okay, so that's your tracking question number 1. And I'm hoping you can see this one. Can you see this one? Just here. Can you see that? Or is it not very clear?
Not very clear.
Kind of, if I point it out. Hopefully you can see it. So, if I draw it in. So, yeah. And then, now the reason why these are actually quite old and the sand has collapsed, and that's why it's not as clear, the light's not brilliant. Yeah. You seeing it a bit better there? A little bit better. And you've got about 12 centimetres for that one. And look how far, here's the pad, look how far the toes are from the pad. So that's tracking question number 2. So again, subject line, what your name is. You can play both, you can play just one. So tracking question number 1, is the giraffe track going with my hand? Is it going in that direction with my hand? Or is it going away? Is it going that way, away from my hand? So that's tracking question number 1. Tracking question number 2 is this one. Okay, let's go and see if we can catch up with Shavinzi. We left her on Albury's Road, heading north, so I would like to carry it on up there, see if we can maybe have some luck. I'll keep my ear to the ground. It sounds like there's some people checking out for some wild dog, possibly down in the south, and they did go southwest from here last night, apparently from Gary, Maine. So I'm hoping maybe we can go and have a look down in that segment down there. Maybe the dogs came back this way, maybe they carried on down south. So there's a lot to hopefully look out for today. That's why I want to get some tracks done at least, just in case we do hit some good animals. So let's jump aboard and carry on. Copy that. Has there been any other updates? Has there been any other updates? This might hurt your ears. Sounds good. Ellen, first place. Robin. Well done. JB, or is it Joy? Joy. Joy's in third place. Well done, Joy. Diane. Well done, Diane. Dr. Rita in fifth position. Well done, Dr. Rita. And Jack. Well done, Jack. Well done, everybody. Was there anyone that said the opposite direction? Or did everyone get it right? Yeah. Okay, there was a few people. Okay. So it was actually going away from my hand. So where the pointed part is. Yeah, I'm just listening to what's going on with the radio. Bit of chatting.
I'm sure Andrew got point of price marketing coming to a Jamaican area from Central Suburb. I'm sure Andrew is the one with the coconut.
Lion tracks coming from Cheetah Plains, apparently. I'll have a scratch around here, see if we can find the cubs. We left them about halfway up Albury's Road. We left Shavinzi carrying on walking up the road. Excuse me. So, the answer was away from my hand. It was actually going in that direction, the track. And what I was trying to show you, or I was pointing out, was the roundedness of the back part of the track. It was quite wide and it was quite rounded. The front part of the track was quite pointed, and that helps to give you direction on a hoofed animal like that, especially knowing that it was a giraffe. So it's quite pointed. And you may have picked up, I was having a look on the camera to see if you could, but you may have picked up that little indentation. Remember, as you walk, your toe is the last part to leave the ground, and the same thing happens with the giraffe. The front part is the last part to leave the ground, so it has like this little indentation. So next time you're walking on sand, just have a look at what I mean by that, and you'll see your toe goes slightly deeper into the sand than the rest of your foot, because as your foot comes away, you're actually putting just the point, and the point sinks lower. There's more pressure on a small area, so it sinks in. And that's exactly what happens with the giraffe and other hoofed animals, and that does help to give you direction. Same with the elephant as well. There's a little scuff mark where the toenail goes in. So that gives you direction. So well done everybody, get it right. Hopefully, for those of you who weren't sure, hopefully that helps you out. This is where we left her. She was walking straight up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it was. Robin in first place. Aaron, King Allen. Diane in fourth place. Jerry and Nathan. And Raisa. So well done everybody for getting that track right. Was there a few that were getting it wrong, or any different answers? A couple of hyenas, a couple of leopards, and one or two baboons. Okay, cool. So a couple of each. So on the majority sounded like they got it right, the lion, which is exactly what it was. Awesome. Oh, one said cheetah. One said cheetah and one said wild dog. Okay, so why was it not wild dog? First of all, the size, 12 centimeters, quite large for a wild dog. Looking probably about half that. And also 3 lobes. I was showing you the 3 lobes there, which is putting it into the true cats. So when I talk about the 3 lobes, I'll just show you. Just in case we have any new viewers on board. Actually bookmarked it as well. Okay, so if we can have a look at the lion. So when I talk about the lobes, this is the when we talk about the back pad, this is the back pad here, and the lobes, the 3 lobes here. So that's what makes it a true cat, is the three lobes. Now the dog. Oh, there we go. It's actually the wild dog here. The dog has 2 lobes, which is a true dog. So the true dogs have these 2 lobes in the back pad instead of 3. So that's the first difference. And you actually, I can see where you're coming from with the wild dog. The toes are quite far from the pad, but let's say the 2 lobes helps to give it as not a wild dog, and also the size. Let's say this one's probably about 7-8 centimeters. It's also about 6-7 centimeters. So why was it not cheetah? Well, if we can drop down, we can actually see the cheetah. Cheetah, okay, yep. We've got the 3 lobes in the back pad. We've got the toes quite spaced out. You're looking at quite a narrow track though. You do have quite a narrow, long track, and that helps to give them a lot of grip when they're running. You can see very sort of elongated here, so not round, so you're more like an oval, whereas the lion more like a round track. But this is the main thing, is the claws. Especially in sand like that, you're going to see these claw marks, so I would have pointed those out for you so you could see them. So cheetah, the only true cat that has the claws out constantly like a dog. And why was it not hyena? Well, hyena also show claws usually, not always. Sometimes you do get a substrate that's not thick enough that doesn't show them, but otherwise sometimes you do get sort of a pointedness on the end of the toes which show the claws. But also you're looking for a 2-lobe track, so you've got these 2 lobes for the hyena, and look how close the toes are to the pad, very close there. And Anton actually came up with quite a nice way. If you can fit all the toes in the pad, it's not hyena, because look how big the toes are compared to the pad. It's quite a small back pad, and you can't really fit all these toes inside the pad, whereas with the lion you can. And I like to think of these as half moon shapes, these toes, and you can usually see that quite nicely instead of them being oval. And the last thing with the brown hyena is the size difference. Now what I usually try and do with the hyena is show you both the front and the back track. Sometimes I can't, so that's if you have 2 tracks, which obviously we didn't there, but that's one thing to look out for with the hyena. The brown has a greater distinction between the front and back than the spotted hyena do. Sorry, down here. So there is still a size distinction, and it is still bigger than other animals, but the brown hyena is the most distinctive. So that's the hyena. You want to have another look at the lion. Oops. And definitely those people who thought leopard can be forgiven for leopard. You're the closest. Just a little bit too big, I think, at 12 centimetres for the leopard. I'd say 11 centimetres, that's what threw me the other day. And just the look of it the other day actually said lion to me. I thought a female lion, because it was still quite a small track for a lion. But having said that, we had measured the leopard tracks. It was in thick sand, and the leopard tracks were 11 centimetres. And from a bit of splaying of the sand, it actually was about 11 centimetres. So you can see there is still that verge, and because I didn't look close enough, I actually got caught out the other day. But luckily we managed to get the right one in the end. But this time definitely a little bit too big for leopard. And you saw that nice round, well, hopefully you could see there was quite a nice rounded part which made it a female. And the toes very far away from the pad. But you can see here, like Anton says, you can fit these toes into the back pad. So you can fit all of those quite nicely in there. Okay, oh, and baboon. Yep, it can look like a baboon track, but you're looking for much longer fingers. So this would be baboon. So definitely have a look quite closely when you see a cat track or what you think is a baboon track, and look for these long fingers and joining the pad. Sometimes you don't see that join, but certainly the long fingers. Otherwise, you look around and try and see the back pad, because if you're not entirely sure, look around for other tracks. And usually with baboon, I usually try and show you both again, because this one's very distinctive. Looks like a human footprint. So there you go. That's baboon, and that's the difference with the tracks. Hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. So let's carry on. See if we can find ourselves.
Already crossing to Aluf. Chestnut Road now. Yeah, I'll come around there. Line up. Yeah. Number 3 is fine. Over the time. Drive west to check around the pan south of it. Yeah, take it easy. I'll call you as I'm close.
Looks like someone's already driven up here. I did ask if anybody came up this way. So it might have been last night. It looks fresher than that. It could have been this morning. There we go. You can see the leopard tracks there. Just have a quick look on the road, see if there's anything, because it's not great light this morning, I must admit. can't see too much. There's some very, very, very faint hyena tracks that are heading off that way. So maybe we should just make a bit of a drive down towards Sydney's Dam, turn around and maybe come back, just see if there's anything around. But as I say, the light's not brilliant and this sand, very, very fine. Well, no, that's the wrong word, not fine, thin, that's the word I'm looking for. So it's not registering the tracks too well. We need leopards in the mist this morning. It does sound like a lot of people have gone down to the south. I actually thought maybe Karula left the club somewhere on this fire break here. Hey squirrel, what you shouting at? Is Shavenzi stalking you? Oh, there he is. The Franklins not really saying too much. Although I think I did see another squirrel run after it, so maybe there's a domestic going on. Hi Cam, wanting to know what book we use, or what book I use for tracking, and it's the Louis Liedenberg, this one here. I have put ISBN numbers up on my Facebook page, my public Facebook page, so if you are interested in any of the books that we do use, or that you see on Drive, especially with me, then just have a check under discussions and the ISBN numbers are there. I think there's actually a new one out, a new print out, but the title should still be the same, so if you put the title and the author Louis Liedenberg in a search, then it should come up with that. I know Amazon do sell it, and probably Kalahari. It's the best one I've found. Oh, Dr. Rita needs to have a look at the hyena track again. Hi, Dr. Rita. And well done on getting your answer right. The squirrel's gone quiet. I think it was the domestic with the squirrel. Possibly male chasing a male or something. Oh, there he is. I'll have a look for the track if you want to have a quick look at the squirrel. Oh, the squirrel's gone. Maybe we need to go down Aubrey's Road again and just have a quick check. There we go. Found it. Have a quick check. And also, if you are interested in looking at the tracks, if you look under pictures, from a fireside chat that I did last year, I have put up these tracks with the outlines of what you should be seeing in sand, and then just the picture of the track without the outline. So if you're interested in having a look at those tracks, they're under photos on my public Facebook page. So if you want to see them again and not buy the book, you can have a look. So you go, there's the brown hyenas and then spotted hyena at the bottom of the page. In fact, brown hyena tends to be even more, the toes tend to be even closer together than those of the spotted hyena. And actually the pasting that they leave, also different. I'd love to show you a brown hyena pasting. I keep trying to smell one. We have seen a brown hyena once. A few years ago now with Peter. Ooh, no, stay. And you get the little bird. Do a bit of bird spotting while we're here this morning. Okay, we'll do a quick name the bird. Because I know there's a few birders out there as well. Got more of a silhouette than anything. But still, questions at juma.com. Name the bird. Name and subject. No, name and what bird it is in the subject line. And I'll try not to say it before. My brain's just starting to wake up now. Beautiful little bird. This is actually one of my favourite birds. Types of bird. One of its cousins has got a beautiful little call. Cool. So hopefully that helps you out, Dr. Rita. I don't know if you're maybe getting a screen cap of it. That might be an idea. Build up your own library. You can get a screen cap of it. And a few people are actually asking about the tracking courses that we do out here, and it's part of Cyber Tracker. And Cyber Tracker, it's basically what I do with you guys. The assessor circles a track, and you have to tell them what it is. And it is a recognised qualification in tracking throughout the world. And I think there's a cyber tracker over in the US as well for the US species. Because I know there was a lady that came over to do some tracking with Lee Guttridge, who was my mentor over in Entebeni. I thought I was pushing it here. Yellow-bellied sapsucker. I've never heard. I have heard. Who is it? I should know. I forget. Joan. Yellow-bellied sapsucker. One of these. I actually need to see a picture of that little bird. Is there such a thing? There is. Huh?
Oh.
Huh? But no, unfortunately it wasn't that. For our little bird. Who got it right, Mark? Ah, Mark's saying there is. Mark's googled it. Yellow-bellied sapsucker. I'll have to find out a little bit more about that one. RC, good to hear from you. Thanks, RC. Stacey in Australia. Well done, Stacey. And Mike, who's not a birder. Aha, Mike Moss, I've seen your pictures. Claims to be he's not a birder. Lee, well done, Lee. Go down Aubrey's Road again and head down towards Chelapan, I suppose. Seeing anything? I think they might still be in the area. Oh, it's a type of woodpecker. So it's one of those birds. It's got such a strange name. It's far enough out there it could be true. So that's why I wasn't sure. Mark's saying it is. Okay, so they dig into the bark and make the tree sap, and they sap, and they masters of it apparently. Where are they from? Are they the US? Okay, Mark's just trying to find it now. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Joe, for bringing that one up, though. It's one of those birds, I remember hearing it on drive a couple of times. I kept thinking, oh, I need to find out if that is a bird or not. Or whether you're pulling my leg. That's quite interesting. Apparently other bird species will actually utilise these flowing sap holes that the woodpecker makes, the sapsucker makes. And apparently they can actually be considered as a keystone species because of it, because they actually help a few other species to survive. That's quite interesting. They're definitely an interesting bird to bring up, but apparently, just like me, other birders think that it's a bird that's been thought up just to pull their legs, but it is actually a widespread species. So there you go. Learn something new every day. Yeah, so it sounds like it's from Alaska through the northern states. Quite widespread there. I'm hoping maybe on a termite mound or something. Wanting to catch the first rays of the sun as it starts to burn through this low-lying cloud and mist. So, it was a little bee eater. You people said roller. Rollers, especially the lilac-breasted, slightly longer tail, nice streamers tail almost. Much larger. This one you can see it's quite a dainty little bird. Heavier bill, and a lot of different colours, but not green. Even the purple roller also doesn't have the green on it. On the little bee eater you can see the green on the back and hopefully the yellow front with the black bar underneath. And there's a few other species of bee eater mixed in there as well. The little bee eater with the green and the yellow, very distinctive. And no tail streamer. Hopefully you can see quite a short tail.
I'm not taking scale so far, but I'm on 72 now. I'm with Andrew. That's no problem. Going on.
Thought I heard something. Oh, maybe let's head down a little bit further south and maybe just come back a little bit later. We might just have popped down onto a termite mound or something. I'm not getting any tracks, but as I say, it looks like someone's already driven over this side this morning. And yes, actually I forgot to say, thanks Stacey, Randy and Tom, all coming through with designs for Who Dung It for the shop. And I put a few up there on my Facebook page, so if anybody wants to vote on them, we're sending the winning design through. If there's anybody who has another design, then send it through to tara@juma.com and I'll have another look, and if there's any that people might also like, I'll see if I can put them up on Facebook, and we'll delay it for another day or so. But so far I think Stacey's coming up with the winning design. I think last time I looked last night, I think there's 116 likes on Stacey's design, so well done Stacey. And Stacey has put a baboon up. She has added a couple of other animals into the design. So I'll put that up as well and just show everybody. So if anybody does have another design that they think might beat the likes of Stacey, then send it through. Otherwise, it looks like that is going to be our design. Who Dung It? And I have to agree with everyone, it does actually incorporate a lot of the animals and no one's left out kind of thing. But definitely, thanks guys for sending those through. Definitely came up with much better designs than what I could have come up with. Thank you. activity down this road as well. Let's see if we can get this little squirrel. Gonna stay put. Squirrels are not going to help us this morning, just in case there's anybody that hasn't seen a tree squirrel. Oh, gone. It's not going to help us. You might hear the call of the magpie shrike. Ah. Sorry?
What's that black thing?
I'll tell you just now. Okay. Seb's just asking me about this in my hair. And I'm sure a lot of you know it's National Rhino Day tomorrow, the 22nd, but I'm not on drive tomorrow, so I wanted to wear my black ribbon on drive. So we've also got our little black ribbon on our wing mirror, but the wing mirror is gone, so it is there. And the black ribbon is just to show support for the rhinos on Rhino Day. And we are actually having a fireside chat tomorrow. Mark will be chatting, and hopefully I'll be able to join you as well with a few of the guides in the area. Hopefully try and raise my... Ooh. See, brain is just not functioning this morning. Come on. Can you see just past? I think we're going to have a bird day today. Beautiful little bird. Ah! I was going to get you to guess it. I think... Oh no, he's there. Still upon, and actually you can see the breast, which will help you. It's another bird for you to guess. There you go. In all its glory. Stripes on the head, very characteristic. So this should help to put you in the right bracket of birds, hopefully. And look at the breast. Should also help you. And that is what's nice about quiet days. We can concentrate on smaller things. There's always something magical going on in the bush. Whether it's a bird or an insect or new tree growth. So fireside chat, for those of you who don't know, maybe we've got some new viewers on board. Fireside chat, we just sit around a fire and chat with sometimes guests, sometimes we just chat with you. Just depends on the subject, the topic, and depends on whether guests can come in or not. Sometimes we'll have guests lined up and then last minute bookings with guests, their own guests, they're not able to join us, but so far 3 guides have said they'll come and join us, so hopefully to know if we're going to make some casts. And I have brought the casting kit, but I want to get a nice one. I was hoping maybe to find Karula's track or one of the Cubs tracks. But unfortunately all the tracks from yesterday have been wiped out. So I'm going to bring the casting track along, and hopefully if we find a nice track. The line tracks on the road weren't really great, unfortunately. And unfortunately there's a lot of sand that's been put in them from all the vehicles driving up and down the road. But if we find any nice ones, I'll definitely do it. And hopefully I'll make a better job of it than what I have done. Although I was starting to get the hang of it. I did a couple of casts that were actually quite nice. Even Anton was impressed. So we'll see if we can do it. I'm looking out for a hyena track, because Anton gave me the casting stuff and the payment is a hyena track, so we're looking out for a hyena track or a cat track. But at the moment I'm not able to go out during the day to do it. I don't actually have a run around vehicle, because obviously this one still needs to be on charge. That's why we're talking about maybe trying to get the jigger up and running, so we can head out and do these things and go to the far reaches of our traversing area during the day. I think let's head down towards Chelapan. Head down towards Treehouse, maybe around that side. Ooh. Huh? Where is Baboon. The Gary Gang. They're up late today. Alright ladies, slow down. You can see they're so much more skittish at the moment, especially when they're on the move. They stop and start a lot. There's Gordy. He's now the dominant male. Actually, maybe we should come back and have a look at the tracks. Oh, they're still running off. Sorry, sir.
So did you see?
Are you able to maybe have a quick, maybe just drop the camera over the side or something, just to show everybody the
good morning.
You're going sundown?
Oh, I meant.
No, I'm happy to jump.
Is that alright?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
easier
cool.
for me. Some lane.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Cool. Just a quick one, just to show you what a baboon track looks like on the sand. And hopefully the baboons will settle down and we can go and catch up with them. There you go. There's the foot with the fingers and the thumb, and then the hand with the fingers. So that's actually a really nice baboon track there. You can see side by side. And you can see probably about this, just a little bit smaller than my hand actually. But you can see what I mean by it looking like a human foot almost. So that's what a baboon track looks like.
This one there is even better. It's got a better light. This one's yeah. Should have.
You can even see baby baboon actually here. Look, size of baby.
Cute.
And then the adult. Now, baby would normally be with the adult, especially baby this size. So it'd be with other troop members. So that's how you can tell the difference between baboon and vervet. Sometimes the vervets will actually drag the tail, because remember, baboon tails quite far off the ground and they fold over. So let's quickly jump back on. I want to see if we can catch up with the Gowrie gang, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on them, especially with them going down to the dip. They get very wary about going down into that dip. So I'm hoping they might just have settled down a little bit, see if we can catch up with them now. Might have just run off into there. Let's have a look. You can't blame them. I mean, they have dropped down. They've been reduced in numbers quite dramatically, and less eyes and ears to detect predators. The more they have to share between them, the more they have to keep a lookout between them. Whereas if you live in a big troop, sometimes they can reach 100 strong, the Chacma baboons, and then they don't need to worry as much about keeping a lookout for predators. But being 3 females, 2 babies and 1 male, I think they did actually cut through there. See, they just went hurtling off. Or did they? Oh no, they did carry on down here. Oh, there they are. They're already down at the dip, look. If we stop here, then we're not going to put too much pressure on them. There we go. So, has anybody come back with the answers to the little bird? Yep. We've got Nyala Bull there. Oh, we've got some birds on the sausage tree flowers. Cool, Baz. Baz came back with the right answer for the little bird. RC also getting it right. Robin, well done, Robin. Vancy. Amber also getting it right. And Diane too. Yep, everybody. Yeah, everybody seeing the black and white bars, stripes on the head, and the golden breast of the golden-breasted bunting. It's black and white stripes, very characteristic of the buntings. And there's the sausage tree flowers. There we go. And I'm hearing parrots. I am hearing parrots. Parrots, where are you? Hi, Tayun. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, and welcome. Welcome on board the Gunda this morning. I'm wanting to know what's larger, the Chagma baboon or the mandrills. And I think for the Chagma baboons that we have seen in the Gary gang, I'd say a big male mandrill is bigger. But there are some Chagma baboons which are probably about the same size, if not stockier than the mandrill male. It could be that I've seen very small mandrills, but just from what I have seen, I think the males could be on par. But maybe someone can just check the size and weight for me, because it could be that the individuals that I've seen have maybe been a little bit small. Let me just check on the size and weight of the Chagma baboon. Unfortunately, size and weights I don't keep in my head really. I can hear those parrots. Where are they? Could be in the tree at the back where all the pods are. The mandrills we don't get here. Mandrills are further north from where we are. The mandrill having the stripes down the face and the blue on the face. Rafiki, there you go. Rafiki was a mandrill. If anybody's not sure what a mandrill was or is. 78. Oh, ah, there we go. Flying overhead. Oh, being chased by. Who's it being chased by? Smaller bird. That wasn't very nice. Not very accommodating. They must have just been actually in the sausage tree then. So for a male, you're looking about 120, 160 centimetres. So about 1 metre 60 centimetres for a male baboon. And about 30 kilos in weight for a male baboon. So if someone could look at mandrill for us, average length and weight of a mandrill, and just see. Hi dear, welcome on board to you this morning. Wanting to know what kind of parrots we have. I was hoping the brown-headed parrots were going to help us out this morning. But they've flown off. But the brown-headed parrots are the only parrot species that we have here in the Sabi Sands, although there are a few other parrot species. In South Africa, but bright green feathers and brown heads, and that characteristic parrot call. That can't do it, but hopefully you heard it as it flew over. Breasted bushshrike. I always think it says its name. Orange-breasted bushshrike, all in one tone. But Patrick, I think, came up with a better one. Coffee, tea or me? Coffee, tea or me? Fits so much better. But keep a listen out for it on the waterhole camera especially. Starting to see some blue sky. The sun's really trying hard to burn this mist away. Maybe I wasn't over ambitious with my shorts after all. Stop around Chelapan, but I do want to head down towards Impala Plains, just in case those dogs came through that side. Maybe we need to do Impala Road. Thank you. So yeah, mandrills between 25 and 35 kilos. Mandrill. That was Diane. Yeah, someone's got. Someone did have wild dog tracks on Triple M, but no sign of the dogs yet. So I think we do need to head down towards Impala Plains. Maybe even avoid tele-access in Parlour Road. Let's have a look around there. Be able to give the camera lens a quick wipe. With all the mist this morning, I think it's dirtying it up. Just say that again. So Lena came back with some imperial measurements, 32 to 36 inches and 110 pounds for a big male mandrill. So yeah, I think roughly about the same as a male Chacma baboon. So they can reach up to about 38 kilos for a Chacma baboon. So yeah, roughly about the same size. I'd say that I was just wondering if the individuals that I saw might have been a little bit smaller, but they seem to be a lot thinner in their body than the Chacma baboons. You might notice the Chacma baboon is quite stocky. Yellow-billed hornbills. Beautiful sun on their beaks, actually.
Yeah, some of them consider Papa West from Santos, and
It sounds like some of the tracks go west. Some of the tracks did head west, but I think let's try it anyway, because it could have been they go west and they cross over again. Might be worth us checking out. So we'll try that.
Okay, copy.
Copy that, Abel. I was also heading that way. I'll drop down towards Treehouse Dam and then come up Zoe's Road.
Okay, thank you. Have you been to the car this morning?
Negative.
I've been there. It was one all that and one people. Thanks, man. I'll go for
So Treehouse Dam is our first stop. Abel's going to be checking around by Impala Road and the Hyena Den. So I said, look, we'll drop down and do this side then. And that's how we work it, so you can hear we're actually in contact with the other vehicles, and we all act like spotters for each other, and hopefully have more chance of seeing the animals. So we actually work together to try and cover have more chance of seeing the animals. So we cover a lot more area than what you can do by yourself, and hopefully pick something up a lot quicker, because when you start thinking, well, they could be there, they could be there, they could be there, everybody takes a section, the likelihood of picking them up increases. So still looking out for a nice track to cast as well. We'll head up back towards Albury's Road at some stage, hopefully towards later on when the sun's had a chance to warm up a little bit, but it is becoming nice blue skies here at Juma Game Reserve. And welcome on board to anybody who might have joined us for the first time. And this is a live broadcast, so you are seeing everything in real time. Go via Treehouse Dam. I think we'll do the southern side and we'll go up Shabam Road. Again, just increasing the area that we might have had the dogs running around on. And wild dog we do get through here, but you don't see them very often, and they keep moving. Especially when the pups are old enough to run with the pack. They stay put in one place with a den, but the adults will still go out and hunt, and they'll cover quite a vast distance, but not as great as when the pups run with them. So they keep moving, and that's why it's a very, very rare sighting, but also extremely mobile. Because they do just keep moving. And that's why actually having the dogs, if you remember, we had the dogs 3 days running last year. But we had them over about 5, maybe 6 drives. And that's what was so incredible, is the fact that they did stay put. They didn't really move from the area too far. It really was quite amazing. Just have a pop down towards the water's edge. It might be happening on the other side there. Now getting some nice light. Oh, I can hear white-bellied sunbird calling. Wonder if we've seen this bull before. Likelihood of it being a bull is quite great because he is on his own. Are you following the drongo?
I'm trying.
And oh, are you able to maybe get? Yeah, them. There you go. There's another bird for you to identify. A little bit far away, but hopefully that beautiful red, the rusty red colour comes out. It looks like they're collecting mud, possibly for a nest. Beautiful. There you go, there's another bird for you. questions@juma.com. What else we've got going on? There's a lot of bird activity here. Oh, okay. No, just that one. So far Baz came back with the right answer for the little bird with the blue and red. What other answers were there, Mark? Oh, okay. Okay, not to worry. Okay, I had a red-breasted weaver. Amber African firefinch, a lot smaller and not as long tail stream as amber, and also it has a look of a sparrow about it, and also not the blue. This one's quite a long bird. Hopefully you could see that on the screen. But you're looking for a little firefinch, something very small, sparrow-like, but with a bright red breast, and it's brown rather than the metallic blue, although I think it almost looks black there. Cool, thanks RC also coming back with the other birds there as well. So they, just in case anybody missed what they were, we had the Cape turtle dove right in the top right of the screen, the three-banded plover that was running around, and then there was the wood sandpiper with its tail bobbing up and down as well. Ooh, another question. I think we should be alright to stay on the vehicle for this. Hopefully you can see anything from there. Or are we a bit close? Yeah. A little bit close?
Yeah, it's too close.
Too close. There's bits of hair in there, there's a couple of bits of bone fragment. Actually, that's what I need to do. I need to get some gloves so I can go and poke around with it. Hopefully that gives you a clue that I'm not picking up as well. So there you go, that's your third question for this morning. Who done it? Again, keep a track of your scores. We've got another 2 more days. Oh, big animal, giraffe. Giraffe, have you seen the dogs? Got an oxpecker on his ear. You able just to close the iris a little bit? Oh, I know, then it's fine then. Come in this way, Giraffe. I'll just move around the corner. It might just be in the way of the sun though. Helping us out, Giraffe. It's not fair. See it there? No, it's not brilliant for the light, but hopefully we can see her at least. No, what is she seeing? Remember, giraffes have got brilliant eyesight. You can see she's looking at something. Her ears are also forward. You can see it just to the right of the giraffe. There's a little fork-tailed drongo, little black bird there, look. Now, fork-tailed drongos you won't really see sitting on the back of the animals, generally. Although, on my old reserve, the drongos would sit on the back of the zebra and the wildebeest. But for some reason here they haven't started doing that, so I think it was just one of those areas where the birds did something slightly different. But generally the oxpeckers are the birds that are sitting, irritating the giraffe, jumping in and out of the ears and around the ears and around the nose and around the anus and under the belly, and sometimes causing a nuisance, but mostly helping the animal. And the drongos are the ones that follow them. But the drongos actually follow them to see if there's any insects that they disturb, and sometimes, especially this time of year, you'll find the drongos following us as well. There'll be some that come extremely close, and they'll sit in the tree and wait for you to drive by, and they'll actually pick up any insects that jump out. Ah, baby giraffe. Let us have a look at you, little one. That's slightly better. And we can see the oxpeckers this time. Now, if you do see a fork-tailed drongo sitting on the back of the animal, it's still not really looking for ticks. They might pick the odd one or two off if it's right there in front of them. But still utilising the animal, almost like they're sitting on a branch. But if they sit on the back of the animal, they get a free ride. And I've even seen fork-tailed drongos pecking at a giraffe and flying around its head because the giraffe was actually going to go and disturb the branch where the nest was in. They've actually been able to turn the giraffe away from eating from that particular branch just by flying around its head. So even if those small animals are able to actually deter larger animals. And if you look carefully, the oxpecker are actually combing through the fur and looking for ticks, but it's actually the blood that the tick has that they're wanting to eat. There you go, there's a fork-tailed drongo just flying in, just sitting on the branch here. And And they also eat the earwax and the mucus from the nose, so the body secretions. That's what the red-billed oxpeckers are going for. We have a question on giraffe.
I'm going to start Professor Jeff.
Hi Minerva. Wanting to know, do giraffes make any noise? You never heard anything from them. Not usually. They do have a voice box, but they don't usually make noise. They were looking into them making high-pitched sounds, but I think they've actually discovered they don't do that. And then they were looking into the low sounds, a bit like the elephant. Don't know how far they've got with that though. But I have heard them cough. They cough, and I have heard them snort as well, especially if they see something they don't like. And apparently they do. They almost scream, and it has been heard on occasion when lions have actually caught a giraffe. They have, or when a giraffe's actually been relocated, if it's being captured for whatever reason, and they have heard a giraffe give off a scream. So they are capable of making sound, but they don't usually make sound. They're quite a quiet animal, as you obviously have picked up. Ah, and Jacobin, that's where the Salala females are. Somewhere over that way. Unfortunately, we can't go there. So let's carry on our search. We'll go up the road. In fact, I got very excited one day because I was watching giraffe, and there were 6 of them all looking in the same place. And it's actually, as I said before, about the eyesight. They've got incredibly good eyesight. And they've also got the ability to communicate, I suppose, with their ears. They'll actually watch for the white ears in the bush. Just remember, they are about the same height as the ears, so they can just look around and see those white ears, and they'll be able to locate each other. But also just visually, they'll be able to see each other, and that's one of the ways that the giraffe actually communicates. And you can actually stand and watch giraffe looking deep into the bush. And then all of a sudden, after about 10 minutes or so, and you're looking, and then 2 giraffe will walk out. And there's no way you can actually see them, but obviously the giraffe can. But I was getting very excited, because the 6 giraffe were looking in one direction, and one started snorting. And I've never heard them do this before, even when I was working with captive giraffe. So it started snorting as she was moving. We're going this way? So we can get one last look at you, lady. Brilliant for the light for her. We see her at least through there. So I drive around and try, because they're actually just standing in the bush, so I take the road to go around, and I'm getting so excited because I know we've just been to lions. Lions were over the other side of the reserve, so I'm thinking, okay, this has got to be a leopard, because the lions are over on the other side, so they don't need to worry about that. The cheetah, They didn't really give this alarm call for a cheetah. I've seen them with the cheetah. They'd actually walk fairly close to cheetah, almost going, "What are you doing?" So I was just getting so excited, and there's this giraffe snorting, and I'm like, guys, I really think there's a leopard here. And this is a place we didn't see leopard like we see here in the Sabi Sands. I saw 8 in 3.5 years of working up in the Waterberg. They were so skittish. And even then it was a tail, or it was a tail disappearing into the bush, or a cat sitting 70-80 meters if you were lucky, or even sitting 100-200 meters away, sitting on a rock, and you're going to guess, see that little spot there? That's a leopard. So I was getting so excited. So we drive around the corner, and I just see what the giraffes, all 6 giraffes were looking at, and it was a cow on the other side of the fence. I was very disappointed, I can tell you. That's the first time I ever heard them give an alarm call. But they did not like the look of this cow at all. And I wouldn't mind, but they must have seen the cows in the field. Because there was actually a little patch, it was actually a little farm, just on the edge of the reserve. The cow was looking at the giraffe, and the giraffe were looking at the cow. At least we were able to laugh about it.
West of
Oh, hello, son. Good morning. Got some new leaves growing on the trees there. And it looks like it was a russet bush willow. Looks like I've got some new leaf growth on the russet bush willow there that she's eating. Hi, Sil. Just in case anybody else missed what I was saying about the Saladas, it was pretty quick. The Saladas were found in Jacobin, somewhere down to the southwest of where we are now. So unfortunately we're not able to go there, but the Salada females, the lionesses... east, yes, thank you. There we go. Thanks, Tai Young. Good to hear that we're pronouncing your name correctly. I'm wanting to know how many types of giraffe there are, and what was the little one. These are southern giraffe, and there's been a debate, and there possibly still is a debate, but I think most people are satisfied on nine different types of giraffe. There was, before they settled on 9, there was 13. People thought there was 13 different types of giraffe. Some people thought there was 2. The reticulated being the most different to the rest of the giraffe. The reticulated being found further north from where we are. And they do look slightly different. And the southern giraffe looks very similar to most of the other giraffes, although there are subtle differences. And it's those subtle differences which make people say, well, there's different types of giraffe. But then some people argue the fact that it's regional variation, because if you actually look at where the giraffes are across Africa, you know, they either isolated because of valleys or mountains, and that's how subspecies or different species come about, because they can no longer meet and interbreed. But there's still the argument that all the different types of giraffe can still interbreed. So it gets quite technical. But through difference in coat pattern and the difference in the number of lumps on the heads and where the pattern goes to on the legs, as I say, it was 13, they've now dropped it down to 9. There's a couple that have been combined. So we have the southern giraffe down here in South Africa. We don't have a different species. But the reticulated a very the colour is quite a beautiful deep chestnut colour, and in between the lines it's cream or almost white, whereas on the southern giraffe we've got the sort of almost tan colour in between the blotches, and the blotches themselves, they're quite sort of wavy around the edge, and they're not really, you know, they're different patterns, whereas the reticulated, it's quite blocked and it's quite straight around the edges. And if you go to the other extreme from the reticulated giraffe, the Maasai giraffe, it almost looks like they've got a leaf. It's sort of very wiggly like this, you know, almost like a little cloud or something, or if you know what an oak tree leaf looks like, almost like an oak tree leaf. So the Maasai giraffe look extremely different, and those are probably the most extreme opposite ends of the scale, those two giraffe. Maasai being up in the northeast Africa. Western giraffe is probably one of the most endangered. There's very low numbers, and actually giraffe subspecies, the numbers aren't huge, but the Western giraffe endangered. Can we get him up there? There's a tree squirrel. And hopefully you can hear them calling. There's another one calling. Oh, that's why. Just shot past him. And that is definitely a little male. Oh, that's the one that's calling. Coming down the tree now. That high-pitched chattering that you can hear is actually the squirrel, and you'll see the tail flicking as well when they're really irritated. And that's what we listen out for. When we say we're hearing a squirrel calling, that's the sound that we're hearing. But unfortunately, there's not what we can hear. There's not really any dialect. It doesn't say, okay, we've got a predator here, or this squirrel's annoying me, he's on my territory. It doesn't seem to be much of a differentiation between the calls that we can hear. Possibly there is, so I'm sure they will have their own dialect. And body language will play a big role in it as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Are you calling for us, missus? Now, the third one could possibly have been a juvenile from the last litter that they had. They can live in families, or it could have been another male, because it looks like it may have run off. See, she's still calling. Nope, she's had enough. Leave her alone. Quite interesting, he's chasing her again. Okay, well he's taken that as that's enough. But quite interesting that she was still calling. Oh no, he hasn't. No, here he comes again. You see, she's not calling this time. So I wonder if she was seeing something. The silver cluster leaf seems to be part of their home. And hopefully the leaves are going to be coming out very soon. You'll be able to see where the silver cluster leaf actually gets its name. Beautiful silver hairs on the leaf, and it shines up beautifully in the sun. In fact, if there was actually leaves on this tree, oh, it would be stunning. Well, should we give them some privacy now? I just wanted to see what was going to happen, because with her calling, I've not noticed when they have been mating a call. So I just wanted to see what was going to happen, but she was still looking sort of away from the tree, and I just wonder if she did see a bird and she was just keeping an eye on it, or whether it was that call was for us. But that's the chattering call. When we say there's a squirrel calling, alarm calling, that's the sound that we hear. And as I say, I wasn't expecting the male to actually come and mate, because that call normally gives an alarm. She is quiet now, so maybe it still was. Very interesting though. Oh yes. Roger, Kami, Jules, Bets, Ashley and Sandra came back with the right answer for my dung quiz a little bit earlier. Anybody coming back with a different answer? Awesome. Awesome. So I think everyone's pretty much got that one down. That was hyena dung. Hyena. Very characteristic of the hyena because of what they eat, a lot of bone. Their dung does turn white. And they do tend to use middens to mark territory. So occasionally, you might find white lion dung if they've had a lot of bone in their diet. So if you find a piece of dung just on its own, hello zebra. It's always good to have a check around for any tracks, see if it does belong to a hyena or a lion. Because I have seen some very large pieces of hyena dung which could be the size of a lion, and that's what we actually found on quarantine the other day. So it's not always clear cut. And snakes also. Snakes have a very, very similar looking dung, but you'll very rarely find snake dung. And this is another funny animal that has a few subspecies. But this time they are actually true subspecies, or separate species. Because actually zebras, different types of zebras, aren't able to interbreed. They're not able to give what we call a viable offspring, an offspring that's able to go and breed itself. It's infertile. So a birchall zebra and a Grevy's zebra, for instance, in East Africa, very thin stripes, they won't be able to breed and have a fertile offspring. They may be able to breed, and if they do have a foal, it's most likely infertile, just like when a horse and a donkey come together to make a mule. It's the same sort of thing. And the reason being is the genetic makeup that stops that happening, and it's to do with the chromosomes, number of chromosomes, and you need to have the same number of chromosomes to give a fertile offspring. But different species of zebra have different numbers, and that's where the problem lies. And one can make all the difference. They have around 32, 33, and I think there's one with 34. But certainly around the 32 mark, I think. Hi, Sandra. Good morning to you. I'm wanting to know how long hippos can stay underwater before they have to come up for air. They reckon about 5 minutes, although I think it will vary between individuals, but the average is about 5 minutes, they reckon. There you go, you can see those brown shadow stripes, probably better on the one on the right, but this one you can see about the faint lines there, just on the rump. And I still haven't really been able to find out, because there's a few publications that say that these are no longer the Burchell zebra, because they are different to the ones in East Africa, with the brown shadow stripe being the most distinctive part. But then other publications are saying that they are Burchell zebra. So there's a bit of a confusion. So hopefully at some stage I'll be able to actually wrap it up. Because definitely the Bible of South Africans or Southern African mammals says they're not Burchells anymore. Say it's common. Talking about something on Philemon's cut line, which is where we are now. Henry, come in.
Stand by.
Sorry, what were you talking about on Philemon's cut line?
Was busy with that Mampipan.
Oh.
Southeast.
Copy, did you see her just now?
Sam, I see her just now. When you turn up to the west, I was just coming from the east, and then she crossed to the southeast.
Copy. Do you think she's going back to the old Mbisi Kaya?
Yeah, she might, she was heading to that direction. But yeah, this morning I booked a morning of them on Chelapen. So maybe they have moved to Chelapen area, or they want to come here. I'm not sure.
Okay, copy, thank you. Huh. Sounds like Teddy's moved home. Apparently, Henry's just seen her crossing over the road carrying Teddy, the hyena mum.
We better find out where they're going.
Well, that's what my thought is, but I think it sounds like she's heading towards the old hyena den just off of Philemon's cut line. Might be worth us just checking it out then. So, sounds like Zoe's Road, hyena den, might not be used for a little while again. I wonder if that's what Floppy has been doing. I wonder if she's been looking around at different den sites again. Because I'm still not fully convinced that she was pregnant again, because the time difference between Floppy Ear having those cubs, and the cubs would still be dependent on her, and actually having new cubs, the time difference just doesn't work unless something funny happened. But I don't know, maybe it just looked like she was pregnant, but maybe she wasn't actually. Maybe she just looked heavy, and through suckling the cubs she's still got a lot of milk there, because the cubs are under a year old, so they will still be dependent on her. And possibly we just haven't seen her at the den doesn't mean to say that she hasn't been going back. So it could just be that she's just not been there when we've been there. I know I wanted to head up that way, but there are a couple of other vehicles also searching in that area, so I think it's worth us just checking what's going on with this hyena. I do still want to head up towards Aubrey's Road as well. See, now the sun's come out, everybody wants to come out and play. I don't know, I might be wrong, but that's what I think's been happening. Because usually a birthing interval for hyenas is probably about a year and a half, 2 years. So there's a lot of activity here. Let's go and check it out. Because Henry's also saying, that's why we went to Chelapan actually, I forgot to say, that he had a lot of hyena activity around Chelapan this morning. Oh, here's the baboons. Found you. Sneak around the next corner. And they're going into the thick bush again. Graham, come in.
Yeah, Carter?
I was just looking for Graham, just let him know where his baboons were.
Where are my fluffies, George Morrow?
They're just on the way down towards the old and BC car for Philemon's cut line.
Good groovy, thanks.
I see Genesis through there. Oh, sure, Evelyn, you're getting a pro. See where Evelyn is, just at the top of your screen now. Genesis just down to the right with his mum, Shirley. And Evelyn just flew from one branch onto the other, and she was actually, yeah, looking like a proper little adult. You know, when the babies, they look a little bit awkward. She is looking like a pro now. And I do see a hyena at the old hyena den. Don't think the baboons have seen her. Oh yes, they are looking now. You're moving house, lady. Actually, check the baboons. Here comes Gordy. Gordy's walking almost right in her path now. I think she's just more inquisitive than anything.
All after coffee. Coming in low of the damn pub. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just move forward a little bit. I don't really see them anymore. See them there. I'm just going to pull forward a little bit more. Oh, sorry everyone, just hitting your ears. I'm just going to pull forward because they're a little bit more exposed through there, hopefully. There's the female with the 2 notches in her right ear. Oh, that's interesting. You didn't notice any marks on the ears of Teddy's mum, hey?
No.
I wonder if she's given birth again then, or she's... She looks big.
Yeah.
She looks pregnant actually, rather than... Because she would actually be about right. Her cubs probably be about a year and a half now. Yeah, Gordy's seen her and he's actually just sitting. I can see him. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see him in the camera, because I think he's just behind a bush for you. But he's sitting opposite her, so he obviously knows she is here and she knows he's there. Actually, he's coming over. I'm gonna go pick a fight with a hyena. Look at that. Very assertive, very much. He's showing her he is not intimidated by her at all. There you go, see, look, branch shaking, that's trying to intimidate her actually. You can see he was walking tall, his head was up, his chest was out. And she couldn't care less. At this stage, she wouldn't really pose a threat to them. The smaller ones are further back. But he's obviously put himself in a position where he can see and watch her every movement.
Oh, that's the female with the big scar on her back.
Ah, okay.
So it's not Teddy's mum.
No.
Sure not.
No, she actually looks heavily pregnant though. No, it's not. It's not the female with it. I thought it was the. I was just looking at her ear. Mark's also saying it's not the same one because the two notches in her right ear were much deeper and not pink. So I think this is a different female. But she's got a scar on her back.
But she's been seen at the den as well.
Sebastian's saying he's seen her at the den.
Yeah.
I'll just take a picture of her. Oh. Yeah, look, he's getting too close to the hole, look. Yeah, that's you winding her up.
She's got something in that den.
Yeah, she's definitely got... Maybe she has just given birth. I'm not seeing anything... See, she's blocking the hole. Even though baboons, and he's quite a small one, even though they... Yeah, she's very alert. She's very uneasy about the baboon being so close because baboons have these huge canines, and that's why he's very sure of himself, because even though the hyena could probably do him some damage, he can climb trees and get out the way. So that's why he's, you know, he knows he's just out of reach for her. But she does have a problem in that if he gets a chance, he might just kill. If she does have a cub in there, he might just kill. Because they have been known to kill cheetah cubs, they have been known to kill leopard cubs, so they... And he's obviously keeping a very close eye on what she's doing and just making sure that she knows that she is being watched now, and she, you know, she doesn't have a chance to try and go after his family, basically. See, she's actually gone right in the hole. That was actually quite a difficult one for her. She had to go right down and actually crawl in on her belly by the looks of it. Just making sure that he's not going to go in there after it. I don't think he would, but she's just making sure that he won't. She's going to come back out again. Yeah, she's trying to dig it, look. Dig her way out a little bit. I wonder if she's waiting for reinforcement or... whether she's expecting to have company from the other clan members. So this isn't Teddy's mum, just in case anybody missed that. It's not Teddy's mum. We just had a call from one of the other guides saying that they saw a female hyena carrying a baby. And Sebastian's saying he has seen this female at the den before with a scar on her back. But her belly looks extremely full. It could be it's just full of milk there. Maybe she has just recently given birth. I wonder. Maybe she's had 2 cubs and she bought 1. Where are you going, lady?
Let's see what good is.
Yeah, I just want to see what he's going to do. Look, he's going to go and check, look.
He's gonna go
Look
and
at
check
that.
the den.
Just
She's
goes to
coming
prove.
back.
Yeah, look at that. Just goes to prove I was wrong, eh? Too inquisitive.
Definitely a baby there.
Yeah, I think there must be. There must have been a baby because she's just protecting it so much. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's in the middle of moving her cubs.
Yeah.
And she's got 2, and she's moving 1. She's moved 1, and she's possibly at the den, hey?
Zoe's.
Possibly. Maybe she's wanting to go back for the other, but obviously with the threat of the baboon being here, she's very unsure. I wouldn't leave just yet if I were you. And also there is going to be a smaller chamber in the back there that she'll be able to hide the cub in. And that's one of the reasons why they do use the dens. And these dens, even, you could see she struggled to get in there herself. And there'll probably be a smaller chamber, and it gets smaller and smaller as it goes back, so that the cubs actually can hide away from any potential threat. Now, if she had gone further and she didn't see him coming in, possibly he might have been able to get to her then. Or get to the cub. But it'd be interesting to see if he would have actually gone in, because I wouldn't have thought he would have actually gone in. He was checking and looking, but you could see he was still quite far back from the hole. But definitely a curious nature. Well, he's moved off. Actually, if he's moved off, the rest of the Gowrie gang are also moving off. Let's see if we can actually follow her and see where she is going to. This is definitely one to keep in mind. Baby's not going to come out while Mum's not here. The baby's possibly tiny. But I'm amazed that he's lost interest. Goes. Where are you going, lady?
That was still on the ground, but there was nothing. It was just touching the food. Another 7 doctor.
Where can you see her? Oh, there she goes. I think, yeah, we're going to go around. I'm going to go around onto, there's a little 2-track. Let's just see if we can find where she is, where she's going to. She's not going to that termite mound that we saw down there. She's not going to the one on Zoe's road. So it might be nice to see where there's another hyena den. Hi, Christine. Welcome on board this morning. I'm still keeping my ear to the ground in case there's any wild dog, but this is so interesting what's going on here. This is extremely interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen that interaction between baboon and hyena. Sorry, Kuda, I just want to try and keep up with this hyena. Naomi from Pretoria, you on board? And this is what the live drives are all about. Even though we had a bit of a plan and I wanted to go back to Aubrey's Road, but when you've got something like this happening, it's worth following and learning and seeing what is actually going on, because that is actually how we learn about nature. I mean, some of these questions that get asked, sometimes we don't know, and sometimes, you know, well, it is going to be different for different animals all the time and different individuals, but definitely experiencing these things firsthand is quite incredible. Yes, and I was hoping she was going to be out here so we could actually see her. There's a couple of termite mounds that could be used by hyenas. But Christine, welcome on board to you. So she came through here. And Christine wanted to know how long is the pregnancy and how many cubs do hyenas have. And around 2 months, 2.5 months pregnancy. And usually they don't have more than 2 cubs. The spotted hyena, this is what we're talking about now. Brown hyena, striped hyena can maybe have 3 or 4. There is, the general literature usually says 2. I think I've found one that says spotted hyenas can have possibly 3, maybe 4, but there's only really one. Most literature says 2, possibly 3. But the general is 2. General maximum is 2.
Maybe it's better to go and wait at the den.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I do want to go back to the den, but I just wanted to see if she was this way. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry.
Huh?
Just wait. Saying don't worry. I am going to go back to the den. I just wanted to see if she was taking her time back here.
Not worried.
Just thought, because there's a few termite mounds here. See, she might still be in the drainage line as well. Okay, lady. It was worth a try, because it would have been nice to know where that hyena den is for future reference. The problem being we don't know. Problem being we don't know where or how far she's gone into the bush. But if she is in the drainage line, maybe there's a termite mound in the drainage line. And she might just be a couple of minutes, but she might be half an hour, she might be an hour. Unfortunately, it's quite a steep side, so we weren't able to actually go in through the drainage line, which would have been the best way to go if we could get out the other side. She might have gone into the drainage line and actually gone south and maybe headed towards Chelapan, because with Henry saying there's a lot of hyena activity down there. they might have moved den sites, and maybe that's where she was from, and maybe that's the easiest route, is to go through the drainage line and out the other side. Sorry, kudu, disturbing your breakfast, aren't I? A quick hello to kudu. Yeah, what a beautiful antelope. I think there's a female, there's a young male just a little bit further back from her. Okay, let's go back around to the den and see if she's going to make her way back there. Nyala's still there, probably picking up the flowers from the sausage tree. That's one thing I noticed with the bushbuck, because sometimes bushbuck can look like Nyala female, but they don't have the white stripe across the nose like the Nyalas and the Impala do. Ooh, speaking of bushbuck, there's a male just through there. We can actually see if she crosses the road again, our hyena. So there we go, he's got a black nose. A black vertical stripe down his nose rather than the horizontal white stripe across his nose. Can you see him? He's just to the left of the Guari. Sorry?
I've got that tree in front of me.
Oh, you got the tree. Oh, okay. And now? You see him?
Yeah.
There's actually a male bushbuck. You don't often get a chance to see them. See it. Are we able to just drop the camera down so you can see the white on the legs? He's got the white and the black on the legs there. And sort of one colour all over, and then the spots on his body. Very dainty animals. They can't get much darker with age. You see some very dark male bushbuck, but not charcoal black like the Nyala bulls. Where did our hyena go? See her out there. I wonder if she did use the drainage line just to head down and go towards Chelapan. or even that man. Remember, was she? She wasn't one of the ones that we saw the other day, was it? So we had Floppy Ear, and there was another female. She wasn't one of those.
Where?
Remember in that block there, we found Floppy Ear by Chilapan Road, and there was that termite mound.
No,
She wasn't one of those, because there was 2 hyenas, wasn't there?
This one's been. This one hasn't been seen for a while. She used to be seen at the den. I remember with that big scar on her back. Even Nikki saw her one evening on her drive. And but we haven't seen her for a while. For a couple of weeks, I haven't seen that big female with that big scar on her back. So I don't know if she has given birth and she's now moving den.
Well, the guide said that she was carrying. It looked like she was carrying.
Birth, right?
Well, they generally they can go and give birth in a separate den, and then they may bring the cubs after a couple of months to the communal den site. But if they're high ranking, they may give birth in the communal den. If they're high ranking, and as we saw with the female with the 2 notches in her right ear, she didn't bring the cubs to the communal den until the cubs were at least 6-7 months old. And she kept moving around, so it's still, you know, it can be anywhere, but generally around 2 months.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, so Teddy got brought over from a couple of weeks. So she might be quite a high-ranking female, maybe that's why she brought Teddy back. But this female, yeah, it's difficult to say, but I do wonder. So she wasn't one that was with Floppy Ear the other day. I'm just going to go and turn around at the bottom here and maybe face. As I say, I don't know how long it's going to take, if she is going to... I don't think she'll want to be away too long at this stage.
Surprised Gazi gave up so quickly.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. But then again, as I say, I wouldn't have expected him to actually go... So if you can't hear Seb, he's just saying he's surprised that Gordy gave up so quickly. But, as I say, I wouldn't have expected him to actually go into the hole. Because there is that fear factor that possibly it's a snake. They can't see actually inside. And that's why he went down and tried to have a look inside, but he was still quite far from the entrance to the hole. Sorry? Oh, there he is. So still watching. Well, actually, if I can maybe just angle us a little bit better. I was trying to get past that branch, but... Can you see him from there? Is it a bit awkward? So hopefully I can keep a watch out in case she does come back. But moving them during the day as well, this is what we saw Karula do with her cubs. And generally moving them during the day, there is less likelihood of predators intervening during the day than there is at night. Lions tend to move around more at night. Other hyenas, other hyena clans tend to move around more at night. Leopards also, jackal. So there can be a big variety of predators that move around more at night than they do during the day. It's not they don't move around during the day, but it's a generalization that they move around more at night. So there's less likelihood of the babies being killed. And that's obviously why she's moving them now. And she doesn't want to do it during the heat of the day. But she wasn't banking on the baboons. It could possibly be curiosity more than anything.
Anything further?
Yep.
Nothing clear. Copy, thanks for
Ricky, over there in the Netherlands. Good morning to you. How can the cubs get into the tunnel where the mum can't go? They'll just wriggle. They'll start to wriggle towards the end of the tunnel. And it's probably from that wriggling over generations of use that these little tunnels form, and even the young hyenas themselves may start to dig little chambers in there. They'll just start to dig themselves. In fact, we found actually the one on Zoe's Road connects. There's obviously a little tunnel that only Teddy can fit through that connects one side to the other, because the larger cubs have to go around to get to the other side. But little Teddy actually went in one side and came out the other.
It's running away.
There he goes. There goes Gordy. But it's a lot more open, this one, than it was a few months ago. But as soon as there's rain, I'm sure it will green up quite a lot. As I say, it just really does depend on how far the den is from where we are. As I say, it could be that she comes back in the next couple of minutes, it could be she comes back in the next hour. But with the baboons gone, this man's fairly safe now, I think. And this is also why leopards will hide cubs away in termite mounds or in areas that predators are less likely to get at them, because for the first few months they're not going to be able to climb trees. We saw that the Karula's cubs were already starting to climb thin trees, at least when they're about 3 or 4 months old, so the ability to climb trees does start at a very, very young age. But while they're still not able to climb and get out the reach of predators and other hyenas and other predators, and that's why they will actually start to climb even thin trees. I mean, if you look at the tree in front of me here, you know, you've got very thin trunks, but a light cub is going to be able to climb that and sit in a fork and still be out of the reach of a hyena. There's no way a hyena is going to be able to climb up there. Although if the hyena is clever enough, he might just push the tree over. But even this acacia in front of us as well, I mean, that's also going to be able to provide some form of protection. But that is why they use these den sites. I mean, even snakes. Okay, at the moment we're not seeing too many snakes. We are seeing a few snake tracks, but the warmer it gets, I mean, snakes are on the move now. And even a hole, even a small hole, is not going to stop a snake. So that cub, even though Gordy has gone away, the chance of lions coming by is very remote now. Chance of leopard, there's a possibility, but also fairly remote. Other hyena, but snakes is a big danger, and snakes can take out cubs. I mean, if you're thinking about cubs this size, snack for a rock python. So there's all these dangers out there, and that's why cub mortality, regardless of whether it's lion or leopard or hyena, that's why cub mortality is so high. Is there another couple of questions? Because I can hear this inverter beeping. How are we doing? 10 minutes. Hi, Jojo. And Bets. Good morning to you. Bets sending in a question for Jojo. Wondering how often hyenas move den sites. It depends. It really does depend, I think, on the individual. Depends on the threat from predators. I mean, we've actually seen lion, the Styx male, sitting at the hyena den. We've seen elephants come through, we've seen buffalo come through, and yet the clan have stayed there. But I think we'll have to definitely check there and see if Teddy is still there and the others are using that one, because this is a different mother. But we did see the female with the 2 notches in her right ear. We had 4 different den sites that we know about, and then she moved. So there was one that she overnighted in, and then she moved to another one, completely different. So I think it just depends on the individual. Her ranking, I think, has a lot to play with it. As I say, if they're a high-ranking female, the likelihood of them giving birth actually at the communal den is a lot higher. And the reason being, there's a lot of competition between hyenas. And you'll find that females won't allow other youngsters to come and drink milk from her. It's only her cubs that are allowed to come and drink milk from her. And even if there is food taken back, which we have seen a lot here in the sands, but in Eastern Africa you don't see that as much. You don't really see food being taken back for the hyena cubs. And it could be because of the competition that's varied, and maybe here in the Sabi Sands there's a lot more food availability, so they can afford to bring food back. But they won't allow other cubs to feed. It'll just be their cubs. That's what we have seen. And it could be that the risk of taking food back, more dominant females could steal it and give it to their cubs. So even though they will work together and live together, there's still that competition, which is very interesting. I find it very interesting that they don't work like the lions do, or even meerkats or mongoose. Unfortunately, I think we are going to have to say goodbye because the inverter is getting quite insistent. So I think we might have to come back here and see if this female returns. I'm sure she will with her other cub. We should have to see how this story unfolds. And as I say, this is what's fascinating about nature. I mean, who would have thought this morning when we started out we'd see this incredible interaction between the baboon and the hyena. Absolutely amazing. And to actually have a hyena mum in the middle of bringing the cubs. But I don't want to run the batteries down and not have a drive tonight. So if we bump into her on the way out, then we'll definitely we'll try and go live again, because obviously it'll be something to watch. But as I say, I don't know how long she's going to be. She could be another hour. She could just come around the corner just now. It's anyone's guess. This is nature after all. She could run into a problem that side, which was why I wanted to try and follow her and see where she was going to. But absolutely fascinating. But thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you for all your questions. Sorry, I'm sure there's some that I haven't had a chance to answer. Thank you for all your guesses this morning. That's been great fun. I hope you've done well. Sounds like most of you have, anyway. But my name's Tara. Join me again this afternoon at 3:30 Central Africa time. Sebastian, thank you for your camera work this morning. Mark, back in final control. You've been watching the Juma Live Drives. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.